from whatever time of day it is, we want to greet you and thank you for being here. You are tuned into LKM Kingdom Living, Leslie's Lessons Learned, and we welcome you. Minister Wanda and I welcome you. Is that me or you? Okay. So, as we, that's interesting. As we go on, listen, today we're going to talk about our desire is to pursue Him with our whole heart. Let's get started. So, I'm going to look in my mirror. We have a few things to that I want to show today before we get started. But Minister Wanda, the more I seek Him, the more I desire Him. The more I desire more of Him with my whole heart. You know, it's like, I don't know, is it levels of it? I don't know if it's what it is. I don't even think it's levels of it. It's just the more I commune, the more I get to know. The more I get to more know, the more I love Him. And the more I want to seek His face. Hey, Sister Michelle, how you doing? So as we get started today, and anyone else that comes on, we're so happy that you're here and you took time out of your busy schedule to meet us here today. And so when I look in my mirror, and I was thinking about how good He is. When I look in my mirror, you know, I see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living, and I know there's controversy about that, but the word in the word it does say in the land of the living. I'm still in the land of the living, and I'm grateful. And I pray that, hey Mar, and anyone else that looks in your mirror, that you don't look in your mirror with hopelessness, with feeling like all else, there's nothing, all else has failed, that you're a failure, that nothing is going right, but that you look in the mirror and see past the negative, see past those roadblocks, and begin to see the beauty of the Lord in your life in the land of the living. Hey, Adrian. Hey, Sister Doreen. You know, it is, we always say this, it is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord and to sing praises unto thy name, to show forth thy love and kindness every morning, every night. But it's more than just a saying. We can bless Him, but still be broken. We can bless Him and still feel like you're not worth living. But I want you to say that He didn't create anyone that was in a space that would say, I'm not, it's not, my life is not worth living. That's not who He created. You are fearfully, and we say it all the time, what you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Things happen, things come to destroy us, things come to make us stay in a place of sadness, brokenness, and disappointment. Those things come, but it's what we do with it when it comes. Yeah, all of us have a moment. I promise you. All of us have a moment. And in that moment, we don't feel the best. And in our mind, we might not be thinking the best, but then we have to um, debrief, get back in the word, and see who He has called us to be. So I'm going to play this, Minister Wanda, for you. Let me see which one it's. What I'm trying to do. I don't have any sound. Y'all can't hear that, can you? She's oh, sorry,
Language.
it's me. I'm sorry. The volume was off on the. Okay, it didn't come across.
No, we couldn't hear it.
Okay. Ba, 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 ba. Give me a minute. It's the operator. I turned it on without turning it on in the share. Okay.
I have a question. When was the last time you cried without apologizing
Uh-oh.
for it? Without wiping your face so fast
I don't know, Elder Wanda.
and saying, I'm fine, without turning away so.
Okay. Let me do this again.
Try the next one.
What'd you say?
Try the next one.
Oh, let's see. Okay. Oh, how about it's a wonderful day?
Oh, and I can't see.
Yeah. And I can't. Let me go here. It's a good day. You
Yeah.
know, we're excited, as I said, to be here. There's nothing that is impossible for the Lord, and there is nothing that He desires more than to see you whole and healthy, and to see you in your right mind. There's so many things that come up against us that would make us think that life is not worth living, to make us think that we don't have anything to live for. Oh, we have a whole life to live for until He comes to take you home. So you have much to live for. And in the process of living, we want you to know that we don't want you just to exist. We want you to survive. So every Sunday, we come on at 9 a.m. to give you an opportunity to not be in a space of thinking you're alone, not be in a space to think that life is not worth living. Life is worth living. And the thing of it is how do we live it? Hey, Pastor Daphne. Hey, Sheikah, Lady Sheikah. How do we live it? How are we living life? Are we living life to the fullest? Are we doing what He's called us to do? Or are we allowing the things in our lives to come up against us and make us think that life is not worth living? But it is.
did you do to my sign?
I wrote the same, but in different words.
Thanks, love.
Minister Wanda.
You know, I noticed a couple things today. One of them, I believe we said it already, that it appears that it had been raining. But yet she has on shades. Looks like it's the morning after the rain. And I believe I noticed what time of year it was too. When I look in the store windows, you could see a glimmer of what type of time of year it is. One thing I did notice about the video today that I hadn't noticed before, or paid attention to, I should say, there is one pop of color in this entire video, and it's the lady with the red blazer as she sits there smoking her cigarette, just looking about as people walk by, and everybody else has on black or gray. You might see a little bit of white, but everything appears and looks dark and gloomy, almost like probably how he feels. You know, I'm sitting here once again asking for people to help me because I'm blind, you know, and that's what his sign says. I'm blind. Help me. And she is going about her day. She's walking by, as you notice, everybody's walking by. A few people are giving, but they're going about their business, you know, and he's sitting there depending upon people to notice him and give him the help because he's in a situation that he needs their assistance. And this lady comes by and she has on her shades and she's walking by, and then she stops, which gives me the belief that he's here every day. She's passed him before, but this time she stops and she takes his sign and she changes the words. And as she changes the words, people begin to pay more attention. They're happy to give, even their, I don't want to use energy, but even you can even notice how they're giving to him now. And more intentional about giving. And I even see the lady with the red blazer walk by on the other side. I never noticed that before, but she's way on the other side, still not paying attention, going on about her day, right? He asks, because he notices there's a difference now. People are paying more attention to me now. People are giving now. I hear more change falling on my cardboard and in my box. What did you do to the sign? She says, it means the same thing, has the exact same meaning, but I changed the words. You notice there's an emphasis on can't, and there's an emphasis on it, that it's a beautiful day, but I can't see it. Can't see it. I can't see it. And the end of that video says, if you change your world, your words, you will change your world. And they used to tell us not to say can't. I can't do this and I can't do that. But the reality was he really was not able to see how beautiful the day was. I think the emphasis of this video is how the audacity to say it's a beautiful day when the streets are still wet. It rained. that makes it uncomfortable and unpleasant for some people. The only people that's happy about that rain sometimes are the earth, the trees, the grass, the birds, the animals, because they get to drink, right? But for humans, sometimes that rain is inconvenience. It's a nuisance. It just messes up the day. They drive crazy when it's wet and it's raining. And now here it is. I sit on the ground every day on my cardboard. Now my cardboard is getting wet. The rain is an inconvenience. It's no sun out. It's not shining. People got on dark colors. This isn't a good situation, and I'm not able to even see. I'm blind. But here's a splash of color. Here's this lady that comes that says, if you change your words, you change your world. So she says it's a beautiful day. Contrary to what it looks like, it's a beautiful day. Contrary to the fact the rain might be inconveniencing and the ground is wet, it's a beautiful day. Contrary to the fact that there is no cloud, there is no, I shouldn't say cloud, there's no sun in the sky. We can't see no blue sky. It's cloudy, it's dark, it's dreary, it feels wet. It is still a beautiful day. And even though you might have a disability and you aren't able to physically see it, it's still a beautiful day. And you are, while I'm not able to, you are able to see it. And so today, we want you to know that your situation might be your situation. It is absolutely all of that because, like she said, the meaning doesn't change. Really is your situation. But what you voice about that situation can change your world. So say something different, say something beautiful, say something pleasant, say something hopeful, say something encouraging about your situation, your circumstance, whatever you're going through. When you change your words, you change your world, because the fact is, we live in a voice activated kingdom, and your words shape your world. Prophetess Leslie.
So thank you for that. I was thinking when it was going on and how every time we see it, we see something different. And I was thinking about the word. Every time we read the word, we see something different. And we watch this video every Sunday. We tried to change it today, and it didn't work because you had those beautiful words to say uh, according to what we should be talking about. Not that there's anything wrong with the other video, but every day these same words come before me. Every day this video is like it's something inside of me that just won't let it go. And I want to say greetings to Lady Linda, and I see Sister Carmen. Hey, Sister Carmen, good to see you. My sister Linda and my daughter Ashley, my daughter Adrian. Thank you so much for being there. And anyone else that's on that we haven't heard from yet, thank you for being here. I did want to talk about just for a minute the pruning, because we're still in the pruning process, but now it's shaped differently. And so I think this is it. No, let me go over here. Here it is. I did pull up here's some pictures. Now you can't tell because the trees behind it has leaves, but these are the trees that are pruned along here. It was a whole row of them. These are them here now, and how they have now begun to have new life from pruning to growth. And that's where we are right now. We are going from the pruning process Now we're starting to blossom. We're starting to have leaves and healthy leaves. Our stumps are starting to be healthy. But I wanted to um, play maybe. Where is it? Um, it's a beautiful day. So, okay, guess it went away.
Moment. I've always wondered why leaves fall off of trees. I hope I'm not the only one. I did a deep dive and I found out that that's a false narrative. Leaves don't fall off trees. Trees get rid of leaves. Yeah, it's a process that certain trees go through before harsh weather seasons. Actually, when leaves change colors, it's actually the tree absorbing the nutrients from the leaves and then stores it deep in its roots. Did you know that in harsh seasons, leaves become a liability to trees rather than an asset? Come here, come here. So in the season we call autumn and the colors of the leaves are changing, that is when the tree is preparing itself for the coming winter. Learning how to let things go is actually one of the most important tools you're going to need when preparing for your next season. In a season where you're supposed to be gaining information, you're too busy trying to hold on to things that was never designed to carry you through the next season. It's okay to let it go. Oftentimes, things that are good for you can actually hold you back because what was good for you in the last season may not be good for you in the next. You do know leaves grow back, but they're not the same leaves that fell off. Oftentimes, we are holding on to things that are actually holding up the space that God wants to fill. Letting go of what was is faith that you believe what is to come is better than what's been.
So I think that was powerful. There was a lot of message in there. And so we have come to, yes, there's 4 seasons. Some say it's 5, but there's 4 seasons. And we have come to a new season. And the season that we're in, uh, I'm going to put also in there the feast. We just came through Pesach, which was the freedom feast, letting go of the old, letting go of the old. And this week we go into the next feast, which is Shavuot, uh, and now to walk in the liberty, to go through letting go of the things that was to obtain the new, making space for the new place he has for you, making space for where you're about to go. And so when I saw that, I said, yeah, we've been pruning for a few months now. And man, even in this season, in this season, today, this week, the Father has brought up old stuff. Hey, Sister Michelle, had brought up old stuff that was going on in me that I needed to release. And he was dealing with me this week with a lot of forgiveness. And he was bringing up stuff from the past that I was like, oh my God, I forgot about that. And so even today, he brought up something that had happened in the past. And I'm talking about this because my desire is to have him wholeheartedly. My desire is to seek him with my whole heart. So that means when he's showing me things, I need to face them and deal with them. And so today, years ago, I went to Africa with some women. We went on a women's ministry. And the woman that was over that had invited me and asked me to come was very shrewd and mean to me. And so the trip was going to Africa was one thing, but being in a space where It was a happy trip. It was like the enemy used her so that I would not focus on the reason why I was there. And he brought her up to me today. And I was like, oh, I do need to forgive her. Not that I was and deep down inside it, if he brought it up there, I was holding on to some stuff. And so in the process of that, I remember I got she used to, one of the wives, we went to her house for lunch and she was talking to her husband, and her husband was speaking to us. And then when he got to me, he started prophesying and telling me, you will be back to Africa and it will be dinner. In my head, I'm like, I ain't never coming back here because of all that I went through. And she was steaming because he had prophesied to me and not to her. And so that trip right there, and then I did some things and she didn't like because I did it. Like there was a pastor and his wife that took us around and took us on a tour. And I was like, we need to take up an offering for them. And so we took up an offering and we thanked them for using their gas and stuff. And she ripped me apart. You should have been giving that to me. And I gave them what I wanted them to have. And I remember when we first got to Africa, and in the process of just getting to Africa, we had stopped at a little store. And me and one of the other girls were friends, and we just went into the store laughing, and we went in and got what we was going to get. And she was standing at the counter, but we just kept talking. We thought she was buying stuff. And she got in the car and she looked at me and she said, you went in there and you bought your stuff, and my money hadn't even transferred over, and you didn't even ask me, you know, what do I need some money? Well, first of all, I didn't know what you was going through, And so, but I remember I took the money I had and I said, here, take it. And I gave her what I had. But that trip was not a pleasant trip. But the process was, and the Father was saying to me today, you notice she didn't treat anybody else like that but you. She knew she couldn't get away with that with anybody else. Because the girl that was with me, she could have chewed her out, but she never did. So one night, it was nighttime. I was in the bed, and the other girl came in the room and she swung my covers back. She said, get up. We're praying right now. You're not going to accept this no longer. And we started praying and tearing down the strongholds. But I even remember her mother, because I had some equipment, because I had an event and her daughter let me use the equipment. And I was just dropping it off. And I rang the doorbell. I said, I just want you to know I was dropping this off. And her mother went upside down me and ripped me apart for coming to her house unannounced. I wasn't even trying to get in. I just wanted her to know this equipment was sitting out there. So, those are things that that the Father's showing me now. The thing, and you see Adrian, right? That's the whip. Well, they both are whippersnappers. And so I had to still forgive. I had to forgive the mother and I had to forgive the daughter. And that's part of my pruning process, to go where he's taken me, to open up that space that was being clogged with things that it no longer needed to be clogged with. So, as we begin to talk about our desire, our whole heart, and a lot of times we desire to serve him with our whole heart, but we don't desire to release those things that we need to release so that he can fill that area of our heart, fill that area of our lives. So yeah, we're now coming into the new season. The spring has sprung, as they say. And so, Minister Wanda, you're shaking your head a whole lot over there.
Oh,
I hope you got something to say.
Father help me, because I saw something else the other day. I might not have sent it to you. I'll look for it. I probably sent it to Dr. Mathis about jealousy. And how people act when they're jealous, and the reason behind the jealousy. So I'm gonna look for it. I think I sent it to Dr. Mathis. I'll send it to you, but it's very appropriate, um, and goes well with what you experienced. A lot of times people are jealous, and for some, it doesn't show up right away, or it doesn't show up as blatantly as others, but this was blatant. It was
Very in
bold.
front of everybody.
Yeah, and wasn't even a lot of times people are kind of subtle with it. They don't want everybody to know that's really what's going on. Sometimes that when people do extra, extra flowery words, extra kindness, and all of that, that's really covering up the envy and the jealousy that they have for you. But sometimes that spirit gets bold
It was
and
bold.
it's loud and very obvious that you got a problem with this person. And, oh, okay, jealousy, I see you. Okay, she wasn't even discreet with it. She just let everybody see it, and she didn't care who saw it. And it's we never know what is still in us from, I will say this, eons ago. And when we have a desire to want more of him, to go deeper in him, when we begin to seek him the more, just like that video says, um, he begins to prune and shed, because you've gotten all that you can get from that. Now we got to let this go, and so I can give you new, right? And your desire of him, he said, okay, there are some more things that you can't take with me. Thank you, Father. Although we are not the priests, it reminded me of the Levites and their preparation to go before him. The cleansing process that you read about in Leviticus is an extensive one. Even to put the clothing on, the garments on that are holy, they have to go through a cleansing process. So it's not just I get dressed and, and woohoo, I'm going into the holies of holies, or I'm going past the tent of meeting and I'm going in. No, the Levites, the ones that were in charge of the tabernacle, that was holy. So therefore, they had to present themselves in a special way to go into the holy place to see a holy Elohim. There was no just walking in there the way they were. They literally had to be cleansed. They had to be cleansed.
Mhm.
And when we desire more of him, I know we've been taught, oh, just come as you are. And oh, I just came as I am. He knows my heart. All of that. When there is, how do I put it? When you know better, you do better. As you go deeper, as you were saying, Prophet Leslie, as you begin to go deeper in him, there are different requirements.
Different requirements.
There is more that is expected of you. There is more that has to leave so you can go deeper into his presence. And it's so amazing that you said that, and your desire and seeking more and all of that. And I was sitting here, yeah, Yahweh. And he reminded me of what he said to me yesterday. And so this is nobody but Yahweh. After we finished I had to leave because I was messed up. After our study session, I went into about an hour of worship and praise to Yahweh, just giving him thanksgiving and all of that. That went from a praise into a song. We called it a song of the Lord, which is a spontaneous song. He used to tell us in the Bible, it says, sing a new song, right? And That was my issue with praise and worship, but that's a whole nother thing. And so I had not done that in such a long time because I'm not in church. I don't sing praise and worship anymore. And that was one of the things he allowed me to do, is to open up the scriptures and sing a new song or sing what I hear.
You don't go to a church
Yeah, I
building.
don't go to a physical
Right.
building anymore. And so yesterday, as I was praising and I began to sing a new song to him. Then my tongues began to flow and I began to sing in tongues. Um, Beautiful, beautiful. And then he said, bow before me. And as I bowed before me, we're still talking about my desire is to please you. As I bowed before him, I heard him say, I need more of this from you. And I continued to be on my face. I continued to worship. I continued to praise. I continued to love on him. And he said, there is more that I require of you. And I thought, oh, that's just me.
Song.
That's the song. That's the song. That's me. That's not you, Yahweh. That's me. But sometimes his words are still his words. I require more of you. Why is that familiar to me? And why will the enemy, even when you are still talking to Yahweh, spending time, will still try to whisper, girl, that ain't him. That's the song. All day long, I kept hearing that song. Why? Because he doesn't want me to forget what he's saying to me. New levels. I'm requiring more now, Wanda. There's more that I want to give you, more that you need to get from me. So now I'm requiring more. So when he wants to give you more, we have to shed the old, which is why a lot of us are being pruned, because we cannot take that where he's taking us. I know people say that all the time. You can't take that where God is taking you, but seriously, as he opens up, as he reveals himself even the more, we have to shed what is not pleasing to him.
Yeah.
My desire is to please you.
That's good. I want to say greetings to the other Leslie. Hey, Lady Leslie and Miss Tiffany. Hey, one thing I desire, and in the process of that, is that we need to understand, first of all, who we are in him. Yesterday, after you finished praying, when we was in that session, and he said to me, now go lay down and rest. And I hurried up and got off. You were saying how he was dealing with you. I got off because he said, now go lay down and rest. There's a space in us that he wants us to get to really hear his voice from the heart. You know, like you said, oh, that's just me. But something in your heart was turning and letting you know that it was more to be desired, that he wants all of us, in Matthew 22:37, it says, you must love, it says Adonai, your Elohim, with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. That's the total being, spirit, mind, and body. He is looking for us, hey Dana, looking for us collectively to come and sit at his feet, to hear from him and understand that he loves us. It's love. The songwriter said, love lifted me when nothing else could help. It was love that lifted me. We're in a place now where he is bringing things to our awareness and understanding, that we see him and understand him differently, that we walk differently, we talk differently. And even in that place, it causes us to be separated. There's a separation that comes even through that process, separating from our old thought patterns, separating from the way we used to do things, the way we used to talk, the way we used to respond and act. And even in that process, he is always growing us up. We're at the place now where he's saying, I'm taking you from milk to meat. The 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 word is almost like having a steak. And when you go to a restaurant, they got the cheap steak, then they have the best of the best steak. And now he's like, that milk, what you used to do, how you used to study my word, how you used to serve me, that you can't do that anymore. That I have changed your thought pattern. And that's what it is. He's changing us. He's causing us to be more and more like him. And in we have to become subject to the spirit of the living word. We have to become subject to what the Father is saying, what the Father is doing, that we could go to the next place in him. So, as Minister Wanda just sitting over there shaking her head.
No, you're doing well. Again, it's being sensitive to hear his instructions and not omit them. Learning to fine tune our hearing, understanding when you want more, we have to be careful not to miss his voice, because there's his voice, there's Satan's voice, and then there's your voice. And oftentimes he will use what's familiar to you. That's why the enemy of my soul was like, oh no, that's you. That's a song, girl. But I clearly heard what I heard,
He
right?
uses
As I
all
was
things.
singing, that's right. As I was singing to him, and because that's what I used to do, we forget. And this is one of the issues praise and worship leaders have, and even me. Like I said, I don't go to church anymore, so I'm not a praise and worship leader. But we forget that that was for him. They're supposed to come along with you. When you're leading worship and praise at the church, it's you singing to him. So when he told me, yeah, I need more of this, I was like, wow.
That's
And
he desires.
right. I had to remember that that's something he gave me the gift. He gave me the voice.
Me too.
And right. I'm supposed to give it back to him. And how dare I not do it? Dare I not sing
Yeah.
to him because I'm not in a building? I just said, yes, Father. Yes, Father. And him telling me there's more of that I require of you. Yes. And when he said it, immediately I started hearing that song. But it's quite possible he used that song because that's what's going to stay in my mind. That's going to be a constant reminder of what he's saying to me. So immediately I began to say, what is it that you require? What do you want from me?
That's good.
What is it? So we got to make sure that we don't eliminate his talking to us because we think that's not him speaking.
That's true.
Psalms 42:1 says, as a deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my Elohim. My soul thirsts for Elohim, for the living Elohim. I thirst for your word. When can I go and meet with you? We want to meet with him. We want to seek his face. We used to say that all the time. I want to seek your face.
I
I wanna
surrender all.
Yes. And that is honestly what he wants, because this level of seeking, this level of praying, this level of communication, this level of reading, we've been there. It is honestly time for him to elevate us and give us more. But we have to be willing to do
Open.
something different.
Open.
We have to be willing to let go of what we were doing. Even in Sabbath, he got me the other Sabbath, because even in Sabbath, I had a way of doing Sabbath.
Mm.
You can't come into Sabbath with your own, can I say, ritual? If I That's the best way I can explain it. Because I had a way that I would come into Sabbath. I'd come in, I'd go, I'd get in a hot tub, I'd probably put some worship music on. I would sing the worship music, and then I'd go into my prayer. And then after my prayer, I'd go get in the bed and start reading. And when I got sleepy, I turned the word on, and then I'd go to sleep. I did that every week. That's doing my own pleasure. I said, wait a minute. So when we want more of him, we allow him to make us uncomfortable. We allow him to shed off of us what's no longer useful. You've used it. It's fed you. It's giving you the nutrients. It's giving you the lessons. It's giving you the encouragement, the joy, the strength, the shalom, the peace. It's giving you everything it can give you, and now there's time for more. But you're still trying to hold on to it. No, I need this because I get strength from this. I get joy from this. I get peace from this. I get my encouragement from this. I get my understanding from this. He's like, but I have more. You tell me all the time that you want more. You need more. Talk to me. You're praying for more. You're asking for more. You're reading to get more, but we want to hold on to what we have. And he's saying, let it go because I have more.
Yeah. And as you were speaking, he began to tell me that when we were saying, I surrender all, he still heard that. When we said, I want to give it to you, he said, I heard it, but you had to go through a process to get to where you are today. Because even though we were singing it, there were still places that had to be gutted out that was within us to be changed to be more like him. So he said he heard our cry. I remember singing with the group in the choir, I surrender all, tears just streaming down my face and just desiring more of him. And that's when I first got saved. But there was areas that he had to get rid of, tankerish areas that he had to get rid of. But there's two scriptures that I wanted to read, and I'm gonna read this one first because of the one you just read, and it says Psalms 9:1. I will praise thee, Adonai, with my whole heart. I will tell of all the marvelous things you have done, bringing back those things to remembrance in our whole heart, changing us from being how we was to how he wants us to be. So the other one is Jeremiah 29:13. And it says, if you look for me wholeheartedly, if you seek my face while I'm adding this in. Seek
Mhm.
my face while you may be found. With your whole heart, you will find me. He's waiting. He tells us,
Mm.
I will delight in you, you delight in me when we come into your presence. And we have to get our old mindsets changed. Our old mindsets can't be the same. We can't walk and talk like we used to walk and talk. We can't say, I've always been this way and I'll never change. We got to change all those things because it's not representing Him.
Mhm.
The light that shines in us, that's supposed to shine in us, comes when we make that decision that we want to be more like Him, you know, committed, not committed to, like you said, being consistent with how you come into Sabbath, but being consistent, committed to hearing His voice and understanding and following His will, sincerely devoted and wholeheartedly trust. These are
That
things
trust. Ooh,
that we
that
need to do.
trust.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Just that
Mhm.
trust, that trust, that trust, that trust. That's a big thing. Trusting him, like you said, wholeheartedly. Do we really trust him? Do we trust him to lead us and guide us? Because when we pursue him, when we desire him, we literally place our lives in his hands and we're listening to hear his instructions. We're listening to hear the direction, the next instructions, the next word from him. We're reading and we're listening to hear his instructions. And I heard, I didn't want to say, I was like, really, Yahweh? Don't ignore me when I'm talking to you.
Ooh, we tell our children that, don't we?
Mhm.
Oops.
We do that. We do that because it's not something we want to hear. A lot of us have gotten instructions. A lot of us have heard, get rid of this. Don't do this. Let them go.
But I love them.
Don't talk to them anymore.
They're my friend.
Don't buy this.
But I need it. It's at such a good price.
Give that away. But I like it.
Yeah.
I just got that. Give it away.
Ooh.
No, you can't go on the trip.
Oh, gosh. Ouch.
Don't ignore me when I'm talking to you.
Yeah. It that puts a whole new swing on things, I must say. A whole new perspective of what it really means to honor and serve him. It is important that we understand that we're in Aleikum Shalom, Pastor Spencer, that we're in a place that he's calling us. Come unto me, my beloved.
Mm.
Sit at my feet and learn of me. He wants to take us higher. We're doing in the 5 a.m. 12:12 community elevation. And
Mm.
he's elevating things in us. And it looks different, it feels different, and it's not the same. Our mindsets are changing, our hearts are changing, our lives are being changed. And he's like, in order for you to elevate and go where I want you to go, you got to get rid of this, you got to get rid of that, and you got to let it go. And what they say about pruning, you got to let it go. That I don't mean if it doesn't matter whether it's old, new. I don't care if it's in between. Whatever. Pay attention to his voice, and because I promise you, And maybe if we understand this part, that when we obey his voice, what he has for us is better than what we already have.
Mm.
But
Can,
because of past things, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I want to take it to the natural
Okay.
real quick, and something we can all relate to, because he just brought that to mind. I was thinking about how ugly those trees are when they cut them back. They really are ugly. And even the video we just watched about trees when they shed their leaves, those are even ugly. They
Can I
remind
stop
me.
you right there real quick?
Uh-huh.
Because when we see them trees, we can't even imagine them growing back.
Mm-mm.
Go ahead.
They do. They look ugly. They remind me of those trees in the scary movies, right? That end up attacking somebody. That's what they look like. And I remember this fall looking at that tree, because there's one in my yard. There's two, but there's one on the side of my yard that literally gets like bare. It when it strips, it looks like it's old as Methuselah. And I'm like, this thing is so ugly. And it's almost like you said, you can't even imagine it being green again. But all I did was look at it. I'm like, in a couple months, this thing is going to be full and green again. The other example I want, in order to allow him to do what's necessary, you saying we don't want to get rid of things. Can I tell you that a lot of people need to cut the ends of their hair and they won't?
I know.
They
That's true.
refuse to go regularly and get the ends of their hair cut. And a lot of people think that because you don't cut the ends of your hair, if my hair is healthy, I don't need to cut the ends of my hair. I promise you, we still talking about doing what's necessary to pursue Yahweh. A lot of people think because their hair is healthy that they still don't need to cut the ends of their hair. Once that hair comes up out of the scalp, it is now dead. And the older that hair gets, the more fragile those ends are. So the ends of your hair are the oldest part of that hair on your head. And fragile is fragile. So the more you manipulate it, the more it's exposed to the elements, the more it touches your clothes, it is going to come off. So if we don't cut them off, we will break them off. It's the same thing. Just like you have to get rid, those leaves will fall off. Trees are pruned. We are pruned. We have to get rid of the
The
end
old.
of our hair. Because if you don't, it's going to break off anyway. So if you want healthy hair and you want to keep healthy hair, you got to cut off what's necessary.
And it helps it to grow back
Absolutely.
longer and stronger.
So I had a lady yesterday and I just left her alone. I was going to handle it after I came out of Sabbath. But I said, you know what? I'm going to leave you to your own devices, because she wanted to post a picture. Those of us who have long, healthy hair, we don't need to cut the ends of our hair. You cut the ends of your hair when you have split ends. No, ma'am, and your hair is long. She wants to show me a big picture of long hair. Perhaps your hair could be longer if you had cut the ends.
Wisdom says, be quiet
And
and
hear
learn.
what somebody is telling you that studied the science of hair.
Right.
That's a trichologist that's been doing this 32 years, ma'am. But perhaps your hair could be longer if you would have cut it off. See, a lot of people think that you cut it off when it's damaged. You cut it off when the ends start to split. I don't need to prune because there's nothing wrong with it. No, you prune to get more. Even the Bible, even we're told in his word that I prune you so you can get more.
Yes.
And it's the same thing. I had to do natural with spiritual. It's the same thing with our hair, because I know we can relate with our hair. That's how he reminded me of it. You can have more if you get rid of the old, and the ends of your hair are the oldest on your entire hair strand. So you gotta cut it off
Gotta cut it off.
to keep it healthy.
Yes. 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 That's good. That's real good.
So to keep us spiritually healthy,
We gotta let it
we
go.
gotta let it go.
Gotta let it go. And that's so very true. And those things that we hold dear to us, he don't want us to have anyway. Because most of us done made it our God
Mm,
over him.
mm,
And so he gives us the opportunity to let it go.
that's good.
You know, he even with the hair, that's an opportunity for it to grow, for it to be more what like you desire for it to be. You know why people don't want to take their ends off? Because somebody told them that stylists is just scissor happy, and that's all they want to do is cut your hair. That's the mindset that's talking.
And you find one that's going to listen to you. I'm gonna say this.
Oh yes,
Yeah, you find one that's going to listen to you. You don't find one that's just going to put you in the chair and start cutting. But when you cut the ends of the hair, because there's no such thing as a trim, when you cut the ends of the hair, they should be cutting either a half an inch to an inch. And in some cases, if you're with somebody that is looking and you need more, 2 inches at the most. But you have the ability to tell somebody what you want. And if they
right.
won't listen to you, then you leave and go somewhere else. But we should be getting the ends of our hair cut off at least every 3 to 4 months.
You know what's funny, and it came back to me. Um, I was at a stylist getting my hair done, and she was telling me to cut it for some reason. I was like, no, because I'm gonna lose the length. She's like, Leslie, you don't even have long hair.
That's what
But in my mind,
it was long.
it
Shoot.
was
And
long.
my hair was right here. It was long to me because it was the longest it had been. And I don't know how long. But baby, if I tell you the split ends that I had, split ends I had, it was shallow in the middle. And I'm
Well,
trying to
yeah,
keep
because it
it
thins it out.
because it's growing, it's growing, it's growing. Yeah, it's growing, but it don't look worth nothing. That's why y'all saw me. It was always in a ponytail, or I had to wear it curly because it was long, but my hair is thin. And so I cut it. I cut it to here. And then I realized, man, I still didn't get all those split ends. So then I cut it some more. And then I just was like, you know what? I just want a pixie cut.
And it's
And I
beautiful.
cut it again. But even with this pixie cut, I still have to go in
Yeah,
and trim it. Because
yeah,
even with hair this short, the ends are still old. They can still split if you don't take
yes.
care of them. But we want to keep the length. No different than the things Yahweh is trying to have us get rid of spiritually. We want to hold on to it, but we want to call it. I need that. No, you got some unforgiveness. Well, they didn't apologize
Hey,
to me. I
it's
didn't
not
say
about them.
it. You need to forgive. I'm working on you. You need to forgive. You need patience. I don't think I need patience. I think I'm perfectly fine. Okay, watch this. People cutting you off on the freeway
Mhm.
and you going off,
Off.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he will show you. He's constantly showing you when you are in his face, when you're continuing to desire him, he will continually make it apparent what you need to get rid of if you listen to him.
Mhm. Amen. So we're going to end with this. It says, A reminder, believers that engage one's whole heart unlocking unlocks a deeper, authentic relationship with Elohim and ensures that faith remains centered on his ways rather than worldly distractions.
Mm,
We want to be pruned.
yes.
Hey, Brother Ben, we want to be pruned. And the fact that he's talking to us right now, don't think about anybody else that should have been here, but understand he's talking to you. And I don't care how much we think that we have surrendered, there's always more to surrender. Why? We are used to living like the world.
Hmm.
Yes, believers, we are used to living like the world. And he says, we're in it, but not of it. So now he's trying to get the not of it functioning. So it's important that we really understand that he loves us so much that it's vitally important that we surrender. I surrender all. Oh, I used to sing that song.
Yeah.
All to thee. I can't even remember the words right now. I surrender. I
Yeah.
surrender all. Do we really understand what that means? And yes, we still surrender right where you are, the level that you're on. He's moving you and grooming you through that space. And that every time you grow, it's just like a child. You can have a baby. You can stop thinking that baby because you say, oh, the baby's growing. They don't need no more food. After a while, that baby's going to become malnutrition. And if you don't feed it, it's going to die. Your spirit man needs to be fed. I don't know if you have anything else, Minister Wanda.
No, that's good. I guess one scripture. I seek you. Psalms 119 and 10. I seek you with all my heart. Do not let me stray from your commands. So just be obedient. Don't ignore him when he's talking to you. Don't ignore him when he's taking things away or pruning you. When we've asked and said to him that I want to seek you, I want more of you, he's going to show you what that takes.
Since you said
Accept it.
that, let me read this scripture since you said that.
Okay.
John 16 and 13. Howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall whatsoever he shall hear, that shall he speak, and he will show you things to come.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
speaking today
Mm-hmm.
to each and every one of us. It's not like, oh yeah, he's speaking to such and such. No, he's speaking to each and every one of us, and he wants us. He desires us to desire him with our whole heart and lean not to our own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path.
Yes.
He desires the greater part of you. Give it to him.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid.
Yes.
Don't feel that something's going to happen negatively if you give it to him. No, it's going to change your life. And that's what he wants. He wants to change our life that we would have an abundant life.
Mhm.
I wish above all that you prosper, be in good health, even as your soul prospers. That's our total being. And that's what he's after or seeking. Seeking such. He's seeking us to desire him. He's desiring us to desire him. So, what was that? John.
John 16:13. And while you're getting that, can I say to Ben, I was saying earlier that the song of Yahweh that I was singing was actually Psalms 23. And Brother Ben says, my life feels very much like a valley right now, but these scriptures are comforting. And that's what he had me singing yesterday, that he is my shepherd, I shall not want. But he had me start at, he leads me, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I didn't even start at Yahweh is my shepherd. I started that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. I kept singing over and over, you're with me, you're with me, you're with me. I went to your rod and your staff, it comforts me, you're with me. Your rod and your staff, that's your word, it comforts me, you're with me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies, you're with me. You anoint my head with oil because you're with me. My cup runs over because you're with me. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. You're with me. You're with me. So, Brother Ben, I would encourage you to get into Psalms 23 today and let it speak to you. And as he's speaking to you, whatever he tells you to do, as Prophet Leslie just read in John 16:13, the Spirit of truth will speak to you. Whatever he says to you, do it. But I do know that where you are, he's with you, and his word comforts you.
Yea, though I walk through the valley.
Come on.
Hmm.
I'm not going to fear it because
Mhm.
he's with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The word says, I am my beloved, and my beloved
Yeah.
is mine. So as we leave today, we are so grateful. My heart is there's a stirring going on, even in me now, and that He is changing me just as much as He's changing you. And
Yes.
so I'm going to close out with this. Now unto Him that is able to do exceedingly, I know Minister Watt, exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. May we exemplify more of Him and less of us. So as you go through this week and He's speaking to you, as Minister Wanda said, don't ignore it. Respond. That's all He looks for us to respond and be obedient. He promises us that if we respond and be obedient, there's no good thing He'll withhold from us. So today, as you go about your day, blessings to you. And may you be willing to do the will of the Father. Until we meet again, have an amazing rest of the day. We love you, but we can never love you like Yahweh loves you.
Amen. Shalom.
Let Him pour into you. And may this day be a blessed day for you.
Yeah.